Hi everyone. Today group 3 is going to talk about a study on equality and civil rights in Forrest Gump, 1994 and the Rebel 2007. Our group have 5 members. The leader is Lê Hồng Nga. The first is the reason for choosing Forrest Gump movie. Forrest Gump is a 1994 American epic comedy drama film. It's based on the 1986 novel of the same name by Winston Groom. The film follows several decades in the life of a slow-witted and kind-hearted Alabama man named Forrest Gump and his experiences in the 20th century United States. The film differs substantially from the novel. The reason, cultural relevance. Forrest Gump is a widely recognized and celebrated film that has become part of popular culture. It has been praised for the portrayal of historical events and its reflection on American society during the mid-20th century. The second is character development. The character of Forrest Gump represents a story of perseverance, determination, and innocence. He overcome various challenges and achieved unexpected success despite his mental and physical limitations. This can provide valuable lessons and inspire students to believe in their own abilities. The next is theme and message. The film addresses various important themes such as love, friendship, war, and societal issues. It can spark discussion and deeper understanding of this subject among students. The last is lesson in history. Forrest Gump depicts real historical events through the perspective of its protagonist. It can serve as an education tool to engage students in learning about significant moments in American history, including the Vietnam War, Civil Rights Movement, and Watergate scandal. And the next part is Nga.
And I'll talk about the reason for choosing equality and civil rights. The relevance of equality and civil rights within Forrest Gump portrays the struggles and triumphs of individuals from marginalized communities in American history. The movie highlights the importance of this issue by showcasing the impact they have on the life of its character and broader society. One of the main characters, Bubba, represent the African American community and the challenges they faced during the Vietnam War era. Through Bubba's character, the film sheds light on the racial discrimination and inequality popular at the time. His friendship with Forrest Gump, a white man, challenges societal norms and promotes the ideas of racial equality and unity. Jenny, another central character, experiences various forms of discrimination throughout her life. Her story addresses the issue of gender inequality and emphasizes the need for women's rights. The film highlights the importance of creating a society where women are treated with respect, have agency over their own life, and are given equal opportunities. The movie also refers to the broader civil rights movement of 1960 and early 1970, where it unknowingly becomes part of historical events, such as meeting John Lennon during a civil rights rally. This inclusion of real-life events underscores the significance of equal rights and importance of standing up for what is just and fair. By addressing these issues, the film encouraged viewers to reflect on the importance of creating a more inclusive and equitable society. The next part is humor.
The concept equality and civil rights. Equality is a state of being equal, especially in status, right, and opportunity. Civil right is an impossible right and privilege which allow for a remedy if a violation of the right occurs. The next one.
Now I will show you some aspects of the film. in which cultural elements are expressed. The first is the Vietnamese War. In the movie, the soldiers sent to Vietnam were only told that the mission was to destroy the Viet Cong. Forrest mistakenly thought it was to pursue a man named Charlie, without really knowing what the purpose of the war. The hippie movement mentioned the presents a small part in equality and civil rights. It merged with the anti-Vietnam War movement with the slogan "Make love, not war" and the famous V-shaped two-finger hand gesture. The second is Ku Klux Klan Party. The Ku Klux Klan, commonly known as the KKK or Klan, is a hate group of white Americans that primarily targets African Americans. This party stands include white nationalism, anti-immigration, racism, glorification of slavery, policy of freeing black slaves, things that are considered a good thing for America. The member customs are white hoodies and pointed hats. Third is Black Panther Party. In the movie, Danny took Forrest to a meeting of the Black Panther Party. This party was a left-wing revolutionary organization of Black Americans from 1966 to 1982. They believed that racism against Black people must be found and Black people should be treated equally with white people. This group is especially famous for its social justice ideology, military style, and expression of its belief. This movement was also the backbone of the campaign for human rights of Black Americans in the 60s and 70s. Next is integration of African American students into public schools during the Civil Rights era. His friends Jenny and Forrest Gump both face resistance from some students and teachers who are not accepting of the integration. This aspect highlights the challenges faced by African American students seeking equal access to education. And the last is Jenny's involvement in countercultural movements. Jenny, Forrest's love interest, become involved in various countercultural movements such as anti-war protests and the civil rights movement. Through her character, the movie explores social justice cause and emphasizes the struggle faced by women fighting for civil rights and equality. Next is Bang Nhã.
Yeah, well, you have to tell him to call him back. He is indisposed. Where's mom? She's upstairs. Got you straightened out, didn't we, boy?
Part 5. Fight.
Always have legs, but stand it. Right. She got cancer. Got cancer. I thought it would have.
Part 5 is scene in the movie showing equality and civil rights. The first scene is Forrest's mom is sick dying. We see that Forrest Gump's life is full of unexpected events, but he just goes through them gently because on every journey
Forrest remembered his mother's word. Life is a box of chocolates. You never know what kind you will get. The mother, played by Sally Field, is a very special character who guides Forrest to future success. She always protects and loves him with all her heart, fighting every way for him to enjoy a normal education, taught him in the easiest way to understand. She is great not only because of her love, but also because of her tolerant and noble sacrifice. The second most important woman for Forrest is Jenny. When his friends mock and bully Forrest because his appearance, Jenny was the one who stood by and protect him. The second scene is Gump pay respect to Bubber. In the movie, Forrest's best friend is Bubber. This is a shoulder-to-shoulder friendship. Bubber accepts him unconditionally. This is shown through scenes of cleaning the floor together, fighting together, and being completely loyal to their opponent. They promised each other that after the war ended, they would establish their own shrimp company. After Bubber died in the Vietnam War, Forrest never forgot his best friend, even providing for his family and achieving Bubber's dream. This is an advantage that symbolizes racial harmony and mutual respect, highlighting the importance of equality and Gump's loyal and faithful character. And the next scene. The third scene is Forrest speak about Vietnam and Miss Jenny in Washington. In the movie, the soldiers sent to Vietnam was only known that the mission would destroy the Viet Cong. Forrest mistakenly thought it were a pursuer man named Charles, without really knowing what the purpose of the word was. The hippie movement mentioned represent a small part in equality and civil rights. It merges with the anti-Vietnam War movement, with the slogan "Make Live, Not War," and the famous V-shaped two-finger hands gesture. In the movie, while looking for Jenny, Forrest suddenly entered an anti-Vietnam War protest of American veterans in Washington and spoke about this war. However, the police officer peeled out the audio jack so on, so no one could hear what Forrest says. This event is real in history, except for Mr. Forrest. And next part is Nga.
I'll continue with several scenes in the movie Forrest Gump that depict themes of equality and civil rights. Firstly, in a scene, friend Jenny is shown attending a racially integrated school in the 1950s, highlighting the early step toward equality in education. Second, another scene portrays Forrest bus ride to school, where he witnesses the historical moment of African Americans being allowed to sit wherever they want on the bus, challenging the prevalent discrimination laws. The next, in a later scene, Forrest attended the University of Alabama, where he witnesses the historic moment when African American students are permitted to enroll and attend the university, showcasing progress in higher education equality. The next is Black Panther Party rally. Forrest attended Black Panther Party rally where he is surrounded by African American activities supporting for civil rights, demonstrating the ongoing fight for equality. Throughout the movie, Forrest close friendship with Bubba, a black soldier he meets during the Vietnam War, symbolize racial harmony and mutual respect, highlighting the importance of equality. And the last one is Cheney activism. Later in the film, Cheney becomes involved in protest movement, including anti-war and civil rights rallies. Her activism emphasized the struggle for equality and social justice during that period. The next part is Nhân.
7. The effect of these scenes on the movie ending. The scenes I mentioned from Forrest Gump are pivotal, illustrating the impact of societal trends and personal relationships on the protagonist, Forrest Gump, and consequently shaping the ending of the movie. The experience with integration at school set the stage for Forrest's understanding of equality and his genuine relationship, foreshadowing in the inclusive and accepting nature of his character. His unintentional involvement in the integration process symbolized the role he played in shaping history despite his unawareness. This theme recurs throughout the film, leading to set the tone for Forrest's accidental but significant contribution to important historical events. Forrest's friendship with Bubba showcased a deep and genuine bond between individuals from diverse backgrounds, emphasizing unity and friendship beyond racial or social differences. Jenny's journey and experiences significantly influence Forrest's perception of love, commitment, and the importance of family, culminating in the poignant ending of the film where Forrest carries on her legacy by raising their son. In summary, their scenes in Forrest Gump depict the social, political, and cultural landscape of the 1960s and 1970s, shaping Forrest's character and relationship, and influencing the movie's ending by emphasizing theme of unity, friendship, love, and fulfilling promises. The next is Oanh.
Now I will present the reason why we chose the Vietnamese movie The Rebel. The Rebel Vietnamese name is Dòng Máu Anh Hùng. It's a Vietnamese historical action drama film directed by Charlie Nguyen, released in 2007. The movie is set during the French colonial period in Vietnam and follows the story of Gump, a former gangster turned revolutionary fighter against French rule. The film explores themes of nationalism, sacrifice, and the struggle for freedom, showcasing intense action sequences and emotional depth. The Rebel received critical acclaim for its compelling storytelling, well choreographed action scenes and strong performance by the cast. It provides a powerful and engaging portrait of Vietnam's historical struggle for independence. Now I will talk about equality and civil rights in the Rebel. The Rebel depicts various cultural elements related to equality and civil rights, reflecting the historical context of French colonial rules in Vietnam and the struggle for independence. The first is fight for equality and freedom. The movie showcases the fight for equality and freedom by highlighting the efforts of Gương, the main character, and other revolutionaries to resist the oppressive French colonial regime. They seek to establish a society where all individuals are treated with equal rights and opportunities, regardless of their background or social standing. The second is resistance against oppression. The central theme of the film is the resistance against oppression and the determination of the Vietnamese people to attain equal rights and civil liberties. Gung's transformation from a gangster to a revolutionary fighter symbolizes a shift toward a more just and egalitarian society. The third is social justice and anti-colonialism. The rebel emphasized social justice and advocates for the right of the Vietnamese people who were exploited and marginalized by the French colonial rules. It portrays the struggle to achieve equal rights and the abolition of discriminatory policies imposed by the colonial power. Next is role of women in the resistance. The film also sheds light on the roles of women in the resistance movement, emphasizing their fight for equality and sobriety alongside their male counterparts. It challenges traditional gender roles and stereotypes, showcasing women as active participants in the struggle for independence and equal rights. And the last is solidarity and unity. Throughout the movie, there is a strong emphasis on solidarity and unity among Vietnamese people in their quest for equality and civil rights. The characters come together to fight a common enemy, highlighting the importance of collective action in achieving social and political change. Now is the importance and relevance of equality and civil rights in the film. The 2007 Vietnamese film The Rebel set in the context of French colonial rules in the 1920s had the theme of equality and civil rights by playing an important role. The film portrays the struggle for independence of Vietnamese people framed within the broader context of challenging colonial oppression. As the characters fight against foreign domination, they also address social class disparities, social in Vietnamese society, and advocate for economic equality. The film features strong female characters who defy traditional gender roles, emphasizing the importance of gender equality and women's empowerment. Ultimately, the rebel bring cultural value. The same film Forrest Gump in 1994, highlighting the inseparable connection between the quest for equality and civil rights with broader theme of capitalism, nationalism, patriotism, as the characters then for a free and self-determined. And next is Bang Nhã.
The next part is the similarities. The first is fight against discrimination. Both films depict characters who face discrimination and inequality based on their social status. ethnicity, and disabilities. Forrest Gump, with his low IQ and physical limitations, faced discrimination throughout his life, but he remained resilient. Similarly, the rebel portrayed the protagonist who fight against the inequality imposed by the French colonial rules in Vietnam. The second is personal freedom. Both films highlight the importance of personal freedom. Forrest Gump exercised his freedom of choice by rejecting societal expectations and living life according to his own values. In The Rebel, Kung fight for the freedom of his people against colonial oppression. The third is the inclusion and diversity. Both films celebrate divers- diversity and and the inclusion of different cultures and backgrounds. Forrest Gump encounters people from various walks of life through his journey, and the film emphasizes the importance of accepting and understanding different cultures. Similarly, the Rebel portrays the diverse cultural landscape of Vietnam and shows the strength that comes from unity among different ethnicities. Finally, is historical events. Both films incorporate historical events to highlight the struggle for equality and civil rights. Forrest Gump becomes as- associated with major historical moments such as the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, and the AIDS crisis. The rebel take place during the historical context of French colony in Vietnam, portray the fight for independence and self-determination. And the next is Nga.
I'll show you um, the differences between two movies. The equality. Firstly, I'll talk about the equality and inner love of protagonists. In Forrest Gump, the equality in Forrest and Jenny Love in Forrest show that two people with different background and path can still love each other despite differences in personality and lifestyle. It also shows how love can inspire and transform people's life for the better. Their love is a typical example of striving hard in life for the person they love. On the other hand, in the rebel, the equality in love and of Kung and Tui demonstrate by the fact that they have overcome differences in status, family situation, and perspective to bond with each other. They prove that love does not distinguish between rich and poor, high or low, or colonialists, whether enemies or friends. Their love is a typical example of the cruelty of war and the great power of love. About the civil rights in the Vietnamese War, the Vietnam War in the movie Forrest Gump is depicted as an unjust and ridiculous war. The American soldier character completely do not understanding the reason for the war. They are only mobilized according to orders and carry out the mission to destroy the Viet Cong. The film has many harsh and painful war scenes which can cause suffering and trauma to American soldiers and Vietnamese people. On the other hand, the Vietnam War in the movie The Rebel, Blood and Heroes is depicted as a just war of national liberation and defense. The character in the film fight and sacrifice to protect the safety of their loved ones, independence and freedom of their homeland and country. The film shows the strength and courage of Vietnamese people. Please, Hương.
Now fighting one. Forrest Gump 1994 and The Pale 1907 are two films that include different aspects of equality and civil rights appear in different settings and contexts. In Forrest Gump, the film portrays equality and civil rights value through Forrest interacts with valuable character for instead. Forrest becomes friends with Pampa Blue, an African American soldier. During their time serving in Vietnam, this friendship highlights the idea of equality and the breaking down of racial bases. As the two carriers from a deep, the different breakdown for the most Forrest also become involved in the desegregation of school in the Deep South, showcasing his independent role in promoting civil rights. The Bell, on the other hand, tells the story of the young man named Lê Văn Cường, who joined a group the revolutionary. The independence, the film portrays the Vietnam people in unrest and fighting for the right against the French invasion. The Bell excludes equality in civil rights value, the structure for independence and right to nation structure for freedom. Snack Nga.
Finding two, the comparison of equality and civil rights in two films. With Forrest Gump, it portrays the value of equality to its protagonist, its simple, innocent nature, and his unwavering treatment of everyone with fairness and respect, despite facing various challenges and encounter with individuals from different backgrounds. Forrest consistently treats them with equality and kindness, regardless of their race, gender, and social status. On the other hand, focus on the theme of civil rights in a historical context set in 1920, set Vietnam during French colonial rule. The film explored the struggle for equality among Vietnamese citizens facing racial and social discrimination. The protagonist fights against oppressive forces, advocating for civil rights and justice for his people. Forrest Gump takes about Forrest Gump is take a more approach to equality using the protagonist's intellectual disability to challenge conventional notions of society treatment towards individuals with disabilities. The Rebel, on the other hand, presents civil rights as a struggle against a more overt form of oppression. The film depicts the protagonist journey from a simple servant to a rebel leader, highlighting the sacrifice made and the enduring fight for equality and freedom in the face of immense adversity. This portrayal underscores the historical importance and lasting impacts of civil rights movement around the world. Conclusion, both films share a common message about the importance of equal treatment and respect for all individuals, while Forrest Gump emphasizes the personal values of equality in everyday interactions. The Rebel highlight the fight for civil rights on a societal level. This contrasting perspective serves to remind the significance of equality in both personal relationships and large-scale movement for social justice. The last one is the lesson learned from two movies. Danh Nhân.
Personal lesson learned from two movies. Forrest Gump and The Rebel are two very different movies, but each offer valuable life lessons. From Forrest Gump faced numerous challenges and setbacks in life, but his resilience in the face of adversity served as a powerful reminder that persistence and determination can have overcome obstacles. Forrest's unwavering kindness and empathy toward others, regardless of their background or circumstances, teach us the importance of treating everyone with respect and compassion. The famous life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are gonna get. Encourage us to embrace the unpredictability of life and make the most of every opportunity that come our way. From the river, the river revolves around the story of a man who joined a resistance movement against colonial rule and the importance of standing up for our belief and fighting for justice and freedom. The character in the film display resilience and perseverance in the face of adversity. The film highlights the power of unity and solidarity among oppressed people. It also underscores the sacrifice people are willing to make for greater cause. Furthermore, the film celebrates Vietnam culture and heritage, encouraging us to appreciate and embrace our own cultural identity while also respecting and learning from other cultures. That's all of our presentation. Thanks for listening.